Alright, so what we're going to go through is I'm just going to step through this homework 1 for Unit 3 and just kind of give a chance for you to check, make sure you're understanding, and to see if you have the right answers for your problems. So to start off with this homework 1, alright, again we're dealing with exponents and simplifying the exponents. So what does x to the 5th mean? And it's basically asking, okay, how do you write it out longhand? So what does x to the 5th mean? Well, it means that you're going to multiply x 5 times, or however many times that exponent is. So you could say x times x times x times x, and then times x. So as you see, I'm multiplying 5 x's together. And because I'm multiplying 5 x's together, that's I can write as x to the 5th. So if you had something like x to the 2nd, it would only be 2 x's. Right. So now simplifying. Now remember simplifying, the first one, a, since we are dividing exponents, or variables with exponents that are the same bases, since they're both g's, when you're dividing, you subtract. And so what you can do is you take the larger one and subtract it by the other. So 9 minus 5 is 4. That number is your new power. Okay. So you're going to have g to the 4th somewhere. And now you want to put it in the location of where the larger exponent was. Since the larger exponent, the 9, was on the bottom, we're going to put g to the 4th on the bottom. So it'd be 1 over g to the 4th. Right. So remember, when you're dividing, you subtract. The second one, we're multiplying. So h to the 4th times h to the 7th. Since we're multiplying, we're going to add the exponents together. 4 plus 7 is 11. So we would have h to the 11th as our answer. Okay. C. Now, C is different from B in that you're taking an exponent to another exponent. So you see we've got these parentheses, which means we're going to take it to another exponent. And this is kind of writing x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared. So we kind of have 4 of them. And then you would add them. But what you can do is you just have to multiply the exponents together. And so you'll multiply 4 times 2. So 2 times 4, or 4 times 2, is 8. So that means your answer would be x to the 8th for that one. Now the last one, since you have an exponent with multiple things inside, you give the exponent to each part. So every part gets an exponent. So that means we would have 4 squared, and then we would have y to the 5th, and then we're going to multiply 5 times 2. And so y squared, or not y squared, 4 squared is 16. 5 times 2 is 10, so it would be y to the 10th power. Okay. So y to the 10th power. Okay, moving on to the last one, number 3. So it's talking about this cell division, and it makes a copy of itself. And we want to kind of fill out this table that we have. So it says here, number of multiplications, 0. The number of cells, 1. So when it hasn't duplicated itself yet, there's 1 cell originally. And then after 1 multiplication, there's 2. 2 multiplications is 2 times 2, 3 times 3, or 2 times 2 times 2. If it was 4, it would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and then 5 would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so we got 5 2's. And as you see, we're just kind of increasing. Now the powers here, this first one is saying x, or 2 to the 1st. Then we got 2 to the 2nd, 2 to the 3rd. And so if we continue this pattern, if you notice here, 2 to the 1st, right here, 2 to the 1st, number of multiplications is 1. So 2 to the 1, 1. 2 to the 2, 2 multiplications. 2 to the 3, 3 multiplications. So the next one we would have would be 2 to the 4th. And then the final one would be, I'm going to write it off to the side, 2 to the 5th. Okay, so as you see, it's increasing. And now this top one, you want to fill out this top one. Since our multiplications were 0, we would have 2 to the 0. Now anything taken to the 0 power is always 1. And that's how we get one cell in here originally. Okay. So the last one's saying if there's a number of multiplications in the table above, if the number of multiplications, so in this column, in this first column, you had 176. So if you were to continue this all the way down to 176, how many cells? Or write the cell number. So it wants you to write the exponent form. So it's looking for this answer. So what would go in this column if it was 176? And since we have 2 to the power of whatever the multiplication is, it would be 2 to 176, which is a fairly large number that you wouldn't have to calculate. Okay. All right, so that's homework 1, kind of a step through going over every answer, every problem. Won't always be every problem, but since there was not many on this one, I decided to just step through all of them. All right. Hopefully this helped. If you have any other questions, you can ask your teacher about it.